I'm Harriet Kennelly, and I am a singer-songwriter. I've been writing songs for as long as I can remember, really. I used to write when I was younger, and I started writing one song a day for a whole year once, when I was 14, and that kind of started me writing things and getting me going. I put them all in a folder, and then I remember one day I just sat down and I thought, oh, I'll look at these now, and that's when I first put together my first song called Change Your Vision. And at the time I was going through some family troubles because my grandma was ill and my mum was really, really sad, and I kind of wrote that song for her. So yeah, I took the feelings I had, and how I was feeling for her and the situation going on in my family, and I put it into words, and the lyrics were like, change your vision and live your life, and don't get like caught up on like, the bad things, just embrace what you can and be thankful for the things that you have. So yeah, that's kind of how, I guess, in a nutshell, that's how it works for me. That's how I write songs. I don't really sit down and go, I'm going to write a song now. I just sort of pick up ideas for a bit, and then just like suddenly it kind of all comes together, sometimes without you even realising. So a lot of the time it's kind of subconscious and just sort of happens, which is nice, I guess. That's when the good songs are. But yeah, since as I've grown up, my songs have kind of changed. So I used to write songs about my family, and I started writing songs about guys and relationships and love and all of that. It's a really helpful thing for me. It's kind of like the way I get out my emotions. Like, I physically put them onto paper and then into song, and it helps me deal with things. Like, some people go running, some people like to do sports, some people like to draw. I like to write songs, I guess. That's sort of how it all comes together in my head. I'd been with someone for 2 years, and I was getting to the point where I was just a bit bored, to be honest. That's a horrible thing to say, but I was. And I started becoming really good friends with this other guy, and I sat in my room one night and I was like, just thinking about like how it's funny, like they always say in that the film's like, well, you always want to be with the stable boy when you've got the prince, and it was kind of like, that's so true. And I used those lyrics, and I came up with these really quite funny song lyrics in the end. So yeah, I put those to a tune. But yeah, the whole thought behind it was about living in black and white and how it's boring, but I wanted to live in colour. I wanted to experience things in a bright way and not feel like I'm constantly feeling darkened by the relationship I was in. So as you grow older, the songs change with you, and now I kind of look back and I know that wasn't the way I wanted it to be. That's kind of an insight into how my songs are made, and then how they grow and develop, and how even to this day it's still changing in my mind. They never really stand still. They're constantly alive, and I think that's like the beauty of music, because there's always more you can do. Performing, which is one of my favourite things. I remember I used to go on holiday, and I used to think I was amazing, and my parents used to be like, oh, go on Harriet, sing us a song, because they thought I was like God's gift. So I used to sing a lot, and that was the first time I really sung, and I was like, actually this is quite a fun thing to do. And then at school, I got in choir when I first started in year 7 in the school I went to, and then I started doing things for the house performances, and before I knew it I was doing quite a lot of singing, and I had singing lessons as well, which was strengthening my voice, which was giving me a great opportunity to sort of develop on my own skills, and giving me confidence, because I was doing these grades and I was getting merits and distinctions. I think I'm quite good at this. So I started just advertising myself. I started singing in pubs. I started doing things for a company who advertised singers in Wales. And then for all I knew it, I was at uni, where there's a lot of chance to develop as an artist. And so since starting uni, that's when I'd say that I've had the most experience with performing live. And you get better, and people are there and they're laughing and they're singing with you, and it's a really good experience. I think the whole performance aspect is really important to me, because without it you're sort of just sat in your room playing your guitar, there's no response. And if you think about music as an art form, without the response of the audience, you have nothing really, because it's all based on getting something back. You don't just make it for yourself, you make it for other people to hear. And I think that's why it's so important to me, because it means that I'm constantly building on the skills that I am so eager to develop. And I'm lucky to have a boyfriend who sings a lot with me and will help me learn things. I think that's the point of it. Like, people say, like, you're a really good singer, and I'm like, well, I am, but I'm not nearly where I want to be. But the fact that I have these people who come and watch me and cheer for me and clap for me makes me feel like one day I actually maybe could. And that's the most important thing, the performance side, and being able to stand there and think to myself, there's people here and they want me to do well, so you know what, I'll make myself proud and I'll make them proud.